So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So, the Rumble Finals has started. For me, they start at like 4 a.m. in the morning. I don't usually get up that early, so we'll be a bit late. But yeah, let's jump into it. I usually don't record from the very start, but I won't be doing a lot of PvP games now, so I figured we do that. The first game is pretty important because you actually carry over your score from the block. So I start with a bit higher teams. If I refresh now, it's going to get lower. So I have to commit to one of these really. And I really hate facing Sai, so even if it's not the easiest, I'll do Dex. I might lose this because strength is not the most consistent, even if it's better now. But yeah, let's try it out. So yeah, I think I'll focus a bit more on this because I'm not sure how it's going to go. Then I'll talk a bit about the super PvP and stuff like that. But yeah, I showcased this team a while back. It worked a bit better then, mostly because fighters had CT up. So it was a lot more consistent with the fact that Bullet and Jack will go first, cut HP, and then Kid and Kuma will just clear up. Doesn't happen all the time now, and often it can go pretty bad if it doesn't go like planned, because stuff has more HP now. Bulk, Kid, and Kuma doesn't really kill, and yeah, this was a very bad positioning too. But yeah, when you use Kid special like that and it doesn't kill anything, it pretty feels bad, man, not going to lie. Hell into Bullet. So it's not like I've lost this yet, but this opens up the possibility of losing. Dalton special can also be scary, but didn't hit anything important there. But yeah, I got a bit lucky here too with units getting hit. Most of my team is pretty undamaged. I might even be able to use Kid again later, which would be very helpful. So yeah, not the best start, but I've seen worse. Like if you get bad luck in the beginning, it can really spiral out of control with this strength team. And that's also pretty bad luck, but yeah. Also didn't get Bullet special there, a bit early. So the question now is, can I use Kid or Kuma again? And if not, can I use Jack? Or, not Jack, King. And yeah, King is notoriously inconsistent. Yeah, this is looking bad, we'll see how it goes. They are pretty low HP though. If King special went there, would have been a lot better, but yeah, looks like we lost. Losing the very first one really sucks, since then you have to start from 1 point per win. But yeah, this is a good example of why strength is not the most consistent. So yeah, usually I don't like facing like 8-man decks. I just prefer facing decks in general over Sai. So yeah, I guess we'll have to enjoy very low point teams here. Really sucks. And we get like a good 1-point team there. I guess we'll do a quick team just so I can show my dex team. It looks like this. See, I won't do a lot of battles here. Basically, I think we can talk about that. It depends on your strategy for Super Pi Rumble. And as I've said before, this is like the first season where I really gonna take it serious. Like the first season of Super Pi Rumble, I did it kind of serious. Like I got all the boosters, I tried to use them, increase my score as much as possible. But outside of that, I didn't use any special tactics. But one common tactic for Super Pi Rumble if you want to rank high is that you start low, and the debate is how low. Some argue that you start by being like in the top 500, not too much to climb, and some argue you should start even lower than that because it takes longer to climb, but you'll face easier teams, you can use more boosters, so even if you don't get as much points in-game, you still get more points on the website. So I'm going to try and not be top 500, I'm going to be lower than that. And we'll see how it goes, basically. So I can't say I'm super excited, but yeah, I'm committed to give it a go. So the proper Super Power Rumble starts on Friday. I think it's news hour. Not sure, I'll double check that ahead of time. So it's basically one day after Grand Voyage Chauzu, so not the best timing when we actually get some fun new content. But I'll spend the entirety of first day having fun with Sorrow, so that will open up some time to just go all in on Power Rumble from Friday onwards. But yeah, we're having some trouble breaking through here. This rear recruit Robin can actually be very annoying together with this Iwanko. But I'm going to real, I've never seen us do this little HP. We're also getting some bad luck with positioning. Wow, if I lose this, I'm going to look like total trash basically, but I think some people overestimate how good I am at this mode. I'm a very much trial by error guy. Trial by error, I think you say that. I throw something out the wall, see what happens. I'm not liking what I see right now. We broke through a bit there at least. This Ivanko special really sucks at this point. Yamato could have maybe done a bit more without it. But yeah, for teams like this, it might be better to just do cat and dog, to be honest. That's what I usually do. But yeah, I actually lost the first two games. I even lost a 1-point game. That's legit embarrassing. So, what I could have done, since I'm not live streaming, is just end recording. But I don't think I'll do that. I'll just keep going. I don't remember if you can see the last team we faced or if we get new ones. We get new ones, so maybe I'll just add it in game. Like, if I run cat and dog, like, what do I remove? Do I remove Kid and Yamato, for example? Like, one thing I could do is just add cat and do a dog sub just to get the better cat special. Or I just try again and see if this is just a specific comp that is a problem, or if it has a general problem with my decks. Decks are also getting some buffs this finals, I don't remember exactly which ones. Decks in general is not something you have to face a lot though. Still one of the stronger team comps in general. But yeah, this team looks a lot more easy, not as defensive. But even if you face defensive teams like I have faced, like I barely never lose against comps like that. And I don't think they are particularly high boosted this season. So it makes me feel like maybe cat and dog comp is better. But I just try, and if I feel like this comp is unsatisfactory, I'll just change it. Many people like to use Doffy on bench, especially on defense, but on offense, the thing with Dex is that Dex's problem is not units dying. Like, often you won't get any bench units. The problem is usually the opposite, that you can't get them in. One exception is if you face the HP cut team. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like Tesoro, Shiki, Rear Recruit Kanjuro, Kusan. Like a lot of HP cutters. And for that team I have a special dex team. We'll see if I use it. Basically just stack as much HP as possible just to survive through all the damage special after the HP cuts, because obviously more HP doesn't help that much with HP cuts, but HP cuts can't kill, so to say. But yeah, this went a lot better, so we take that. 1 point in 3 games, great start. So I'll use 1 gem. I probably won't use a lot more. This video will be like very long then. So what I want now is for some teams to let me showcase my other squads. So I just update a bit, see what we get. Here we got so I can showcase my quick team. And yeah, here we go. I want to note that at this stage of Super PvP you don't have to run boosters. Because it doesn't start properly until Friday, so people will take it a bit easy in the beginning and then go hard when it matters. But yeah, I've said it a lot of times about this team. I think it's the optimal quick team. I've done a lot of testing and I feel pretty confident saying that. It might sound weird since there are 2 rear recruits on the team, but it's just the best that Quick has to offer. And both are driven, which lets us use 5 quick driven units. And a lot of these don't really boost quick, they boost driven. So having a full quick driven team just has great synergy. And Kiko Ice on the bench is just amazing. Very rarely Quick doesn't lose units, you usually lose 1 or 2 units at least. And then you can bring in Kiko ISO and they just deal with everything remaining basically. Great cleanup units. But yeah, the addition of the Zoro and rear recruit Fuji to quick team really helped. Yeah, King is scary, like he's not really boosted by the strength team, but like he doesn't buff the others, but he himself gets buffed, so he can do a lot of damage. Since he ignores defense like Kid and Kuma. But yeah, that was very easy. If only all games were that easy. But yeah, I really trust Quick a lot now, which is a big difference from before. There was a time period when Strength was the best defense and Quick really struggled. And it's not like Quick has got a lot of new units, it has just got the icing on the cake. But obviously I have like a fully maxed Quick team too, so. Okay, let's see if I can showcase some of my other teams. You will see me mostly skip like side teams with Yamato and Odin, because that's always RNG. I really want to avoid that, it has to look really bad, but I can take that. And for really trash teams like this, I like to just use slashers. They get the job done pretty fast. Otherwise, my most use of slashers is against very defensive teams with basically no damage output. Because the way things work, like those defensive teams are hard to break through, but Roger Whitebeard is like a big cheat unit, so he can break through. But once that balance tips and they're not super defensive anymore, I usually switch over to Int. They usually handle everything that isn't super stall. Because like when you start adding some more offensive units, like you lose the healing and stuff like that, and Int can slowly wear down the team. There are some exceptions where you have like a very bulky team, and then you have maybe Moria and Uta, stuff like that. And suddenly it's very scary for Slasher and very scary for Int. So those are the most annoying defensive teams, I'd say, to face. And yeah, as you see, Slasher still good when it's free. But yeah, I got 1 battle left, so guess we're going to use my in-team once. But yeah, after this, I probably just do my dailies, maybe get some defense wins. I've not really changed my defense team yet. We can take a look at that before the final battle. Maybe a bit too good considering I'm pretty high. Maybe shooter bait will work. I could try that. Otherwise I have my fighter bait. Might work. I don't know if 6 unit teams are the way to go. We can start with shooter and see what happens. Anyway, let's do a final battle. Want to use int, and int is like my general team, but I go for face basically anything. Refresh a few times until I get something. Like this is free, I should have faced that. But I want to face something I'd usually face with int. Slashers I usually avoid too, since there are just a lot of RNG too. Like, if I use int versus slashers, I usually lose. But if I use slashers myself against int, I always lose, so just how it is. But in general, I use int versus various class teams and such. That looks so bad, but I don't want to face Odin and Yamato. There's just too much RNG. So I don't know why people run it. Do people actually fight into that? I think it's fine to use slashers without Radio Whitebeard, so we'll just demolish that. I'm going to try Fuji on the front line now, so I'll be doing some experimenting, I guess. Because in team is like fully driven, so Fuji's buffs actually applies, and he does get some buffs to himself. And in the end, if Fuji goes down a bit earlier, it's not the end of the world. It's actually good because Fuji doesn't really exert too much offensive pressure. Basically, the logic of using Fuji in the front line is that he can buff up your defenses further, not too much damage. And once he goes down, or something else, Kid often goes down early for example, we can bring in Broggy, who is one of the biggest damage dealers on the team. Only Uta does more damage than Broggy in general. So I think it might be solid. One fascinating aspect of PvP is the fact that sometimes you want your units to go down eventually, and if they don't go down, it gets harder, like we talked about with quick report, for example. If you don't get any kills, you don't get in Kiku ISO, so you lose a lot of damage in the end when you want it. Same reason I'm not using Dex Duffy on the bench, because often he won't come in and he's useless then, and we need his damage in the end, stuff like that. But yeah, not my best PvP video ever, but yeah. You got to hear my thought process a bit at least, so that's something. But yeah, now I'm going to upload this, eat some breakfast and go to work, so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.